Hi everyone. What's today? Wednesday? Happy Wednesday. Today I'm interviewing Lorena. Lorena and I actually work together. We have the same mutual client but do different things. So she is going to join me in just a moment. Here we go. Hello.
Hey,
How
how
are
are
you?
you?
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you for joining me today. So tell me a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself, what you do, um, and yeah, tell us about your journey to being an entrepreneur.
Yeah, okay. I am a content creator right now. I started as a VA, like a general VA, last year, and I started developing this my zone of genius, and I realized that I actually was a content creator. Yeah, that's what I say I am right now.
Awesome. And
But
what kind
yeah,
of content do you create?
so I do all content for social media. Copywriting, photo editing, graphic design, video editing, scheduling, posting, hashtag research, all of that. Like I package all of that, and those are my services.
Awesome. Okay. And tell us a little bit like what were you doing before you started being a VA and what made you want to go out and work for yourself?
Yeah, last year was a completely different story for me. I was working in a 9 to 5. I was a receptionist in a gym, and the job was fine. The job was okay, but my boss was horrible. She was so mean, and now I'm grateful for that because that's what made me decide to. Um, go for it and start my own business. But at the time, I was really stressed. And when I quit that job, I went through a period of really bad anxiety. And it
Mm,
took me a couple of months to like get back on my feet and decide to start with this because I was working so much. They made me, maybe work 2 shifts like in a row. So I would work like
mm,
16 hours a day sometimes.
wow.
Yeah. And I couldn't sleep so much. So I was really stressed. And once I finished that job, it's like all the stress just came to my body. And I was like a mess. So it took me a couple of months. And yeah, then I was like, okay, I'm not going back to a 9 to 5. I couldn't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good for you. Um, I want to talk a little bit about something you said, which I think it's something that I just started focusing on, and it's about setting boundaries, especially when you work for yourself, but also when you work for another company.
Yeah.
So I don't, you're in Argentina,
Yeah.
correct? So it might be different there, but I mean, here too, people struggle with it. But um, I think setting boundaries with your bosses or with your time schedule, talk a little bit about how you do that as an entrepreneur. And I think it's even great that you mentioned that with the anxiety, like you took time off, you took time to recover and
Yeah.
realize like what you needed. Yeah, so just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So yeah, I think like taking some time off if you can, it's really helpful because you can really clear your mind and be like, okay, what do I want to do? Like really.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really helpful. I really recommend that if you can. Um, But yeah, setting boundaries is hard for me as well. Like with my clients, it's still hard sometimes because you want to be in service, and I want to help everyone and everyone
Mm-hmm.
that I can.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard sometimes, but I think that at the end of the day, with my clients at least, I have to go back to our contract and see, okay, this is what I committed to. And
Mm-hmm.
if they are asking for more than that, I can happily do it, but with a rate, because if you keep working for free and keep, you're never going to grow because you're always going to be burying yourself in free work,
Mm-hmm.
but also I'm just starting to set boundaries with my time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm only working from 9 to 6 p.m. And those are the times that I'm available. And if I'm available after 6 p.m., it's a choice that I make, but it's not my responsibility. Like I
Mm.
said to all my clients, this is the time where I'm available. And after that, it's my choice if I want to continue working or not. Because sometimes I will be working until 11 p.m. and my clients will still send me messages at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that I was burned out because I was working like 24/7
Mm-hmm.
nonstop.
Yeah.
And that's hard because there's nobody telling you, okay, this is the time where you're going to work, and this is the time when you're going to, be free. So it's harder when it's you that is in charge. So I think that
Mm-hmm.
setting like an organized schedule is like the best thing when you're working for yourself.
Mm-hmm. I can remember when I started in 2018 in the fall, and I remember like I took for granted like the structure that my office had before I
Oh,
left.
yeah,
So I was like, I'm very organized, but I just didn't know how to organize my time when I had so many clients and
yeah,
I wasn't taking a break. Even like standing up, like even still
yeah,
sometimes like eating at my desk and, like
yeah,
just, taking time for me, going for a walk, like being
yeah.
outside. I moved from Boston to Miami and everyone like
So
my,
pretty.
I'm sorry.
So pretty, Miami.
Oh, it is. And people were saying to me like you moved to Miami to get out of the cold and you're not even going outside to enjoy it. So yeah,
Yeah,
I had to do like a whole switch of my mindset and now I schedule literally everything on my calendar, on my Google Calendar and it's color coordinated. So I know like I'm working this time to this time on this project and it's just
yeah,
so much more helpful. So I'm curious to hear how you organize yourself and your time because you deal with multiple like social
yeah.
media clients, and so what is the method that you use?
Yeah. So I tend to go with my client's calendar. So maybe they say, okay, I'm going to work on my content on Monday, let's say. So on Monday, I know that that client we're working on the content for the entire week. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I set aside a few hours just to work with that client. And with other clients, it's like Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I know that those are the days that I'm going to work like heavily with those clients. So that's mainly how I do it.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get more organized though, because I'm getting to a point where I have a lot of clients and I also hired someone to help me and I'm like getting more and more clients and I'm like, okay, I need to get more organized because um it's like overwhelming the amount of work that you have. I know that you deal with the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I think that I'm going to start with the color coding on my calendar because
Uh-huh.
and like setting time aside to like stand up, go for a walk, exercise, and all of that because I am committed and sometimes I'm like, well, okay, I I won't work out today. That's fine. But it's not like it should be like a thing that you do every single day.
Yeah, I mean, you're not the only person that deals with that. And I think we have to remember, like, if we have to take care of ourselves first, and if we
Yeah.
don't, then we can't serve our clients. So,
Yeah.
um, something else I'll recommend that I use with most of my clients is Asana. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
heard of it, but it's a free online tool. There's an app, but there's also the desktop. I actually prefer the desktop.
Yeah.
But it, especially when you start working with other people, like you said, you hired someone to help you, like as
Yeah.
a team, because you just put tasks in there. You can put notes, files, you can upload things, photos, and it's very specific. You can put like a date that the task is due, and then you
Uh-huh.
assign it to that person. So
Yeah.
it's another way, just you're both on the same page. You can leave notes for each other. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm actually on Trello right now, but I was thinking
Oh.
about switching to Asana.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because well, right now I have one person in my team, but if I start to grow it, like on Trello, it's like very difficult to like talk with everyone or like set
Oh.
something for a specific person. So yeah, I'm looking into Asana a little bit more.
Hmm. Yeah. Message me later if you have any questions with it. It's really
Okay,
helpful
great.
and it's really easy to use. So, um,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah. So, hey, freelance coach just says health is wealth, balance is tough. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. For sure. And even I think the boundaries go with the people that you work with, like the clients that you work with. I can remember, again, when I first moved to Miami, I had this client, and I was like going home and crying, and like she was kind of like rough with me, and like was taking up all my time. I wasn't setting time boundaries with her. And
Yeah.
then she was like smoking cigarettes, and even like my voice started to change, like smoking in the
No.
same, you know. And I had told her I didn't like it, but I didn't like repeat it, to her. So anyway, it was not a good situation, and I had to leave. And
Yeah.
I think it's my gut was telling me, she's not right for you. It's not the best fit.
Yeah.
But so I think it's important to listen to your gut and
Yeah, totally.
let go
Yeah.
of things that aren't good for you.
Yeah,
Set
yeah.
that boundary.
I had a client as well that she would send me a message saying that she needed something, and in an hour, if I didn't do it, she was like mad at me.
Mm,
And I was
mm-hmm.
like, I'm not your I don't know, personal assistant that I have to be 24/7 for you. Like,
Right.
and she wouldn't talk to me in like 2 weeks, and then she will appear and be like, okay, I need this in the next hour.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
no, it doesn't work like
That's
that.
not how it works. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can remember, like you said, too, laying in bed and like responding to clients on my phone. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, what am I doing? So now like I don't work on Sundays. I tried
Yeah.
not too much to work on Saturdays. And like you said, I have a limit of when I respond to people.
Yeah.
Like they can send me stuff, but it doesn't mean that
Yeah.
I have to respond right away, right?
Yeah, totally.
So,
Yeah.
absolutely. So what's your favorite part about your business since you started working on your own?
Um, I think the best part is the community. Um, it's amazing to me how much you can get to know a person just via a screen. Because I don't know, it's crazy to me. It's like I have clients from all around the world, and I couldn't ever have meet them if it wasn't like this.
Hmm.
And I don't talk with my clients just about work, and I end up being friends with a lot of them.
Hmm.
And
So
I
when you
work
say
with,
community, you mean your clients that you have, you've kind of made like a community with them? Is that what
yeah,
you mean?
yeah.
Okay. That's good.
It's so nice because I only work with people that I truly like feel like I need to work with them, and
Hmm.
that connection is what I don't know, it still amazes me every single day.
That's great. Um, so here's a question for you. So you started your business what last summer, right? And then you said, I read your post today. Then you said you started to get clients in October.
Yeah,
And then, oh, go ahead.
no, that toyed around with the idea in July, and I started my Instagram account, but I wasn't like consistent or, like really going for
Mm-hmm.
it until like September, and in October I got my first client. So yeah.
Okay, got you. So then you just started your business and then Corona came around.
Yeah.
Um, so I was just curious how did Corona affect your business and like how did you deal with the mindset and keeping the business going during that time?
Yeah. At first, I was affected a little because I had some clients that were not coaches. I work mostly with coaches and mentors, but I had some clients that were like entrepreneurs, and they had physical stores and stuff like that. So they had to
Mm-hmm.
close, and they didn't have clients, so they couldn't pay me. So
Mm-hmm.
I lost a couple of clients to that. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that March was like my lowest income, this year. But then in April and May, it just turned around completely, and now I'm like at a completely different point. It's insane how fast this can change. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that right now people are getting more used to like the pandemic situation, and I know that the US is opening up, so that's like a pretty big deal that things are getting, slowly starting again.
Mm-hmm.
Here in Argentina, they are not.
Oh, I was
We
wondering. I was
are,
gonna ask.
yeah, we are still in quarantine because we are in winter here, and it's like the most dangerous time. And
Mm.
cases are like still growing. So yeah, it's been like I think 80 days of quarantine. It's insane.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that you were
Thank
still
you.
inside.
Yeah,
Well,
I know.
hopefully, when does it start to get warmer there?
September, October. Yeah.
Oh, so it's just starting the winter, kind of.
Yeah, it's just starting. Yeah, we
Mm-hmm.
have like 3 more months of this.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know how much this quarantine is going to last because there's not a lot of countries that are in the same position,
Mm-hmm.
because all the countries in the north are like on summer, so
Mm-hmm.
cases are going down, and here is like complete opposite. So yeah, people are getting a little frustrated,
Mm-hmm.
but I think we all just have to own it and like accept it. It's the only thing that's left.
Yeah, that's true. Acceptance. Um, so how obviously you've probably learned that entrepreneurship comes with a lot of emotional ups and downs, whether you have corona or not. There also that was like an extra thing, but
Yeah.
so how do you deal with all of the emotional roller coaster that happens as an entrepreneur?
Yeah. I have weeks where I'm like, motivated as hell, and I'm like, yeah, let's go for it. I'm doing it. And there's other weeks when I'm like, I don't want to get out of bed, and I feel like a failure or an imposter or whatever. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, to me, it's
You get a
like,
new client and you're like,
yeah,
yeah. And then and
yeah, oh
then
my
like a
God.
week later you're like sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead.
No, but it's true. It's like I get a new client and it's like that. I'm like super excited, and then the next day I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm not going to be able to do this."
Yeah, I know
So
it.
yeah, I mean,
So how do you
the,
deal with that?
yeah, the thing that helps me is like identifying when my brain is tricking me, like,
Mm,
and when I feel like an imposter, or when I feel like things are overwhelming, I need to remember that it's just my thoughts, and that doesn't make it a reality. So I just need
that's
to
good.
trust. Yeah, like I need to trust myself that I can do it, because that's when I actually grow, and that's when I actually succeed. Because if I start to believe what I'm thinking, it's just not gonna work.
Absolutely. I just was I don't know if you know, but I do virtual assistant stuff, but I'm a coach as well. And I was
Oh,
just talking with one of my clients about if you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. So if you
yeah,
believe you can, then there's a way to work through it and make it happen. But if you believe you
yeah,
can't, then also your mindset will cause you to lose focus and then you won't achieve what you're trying to work for. So
yeah,
yeah,
totally.
mindset is huge. I also try to do meditation in the morning. It took a while to like get into the practice, but it helps like clear my mind and
Yeah,
if I have affirmations that I hear, it helps me believe in myself, which is
yeah, yeah.
tough some days more than other. So,
Yeah, I usually meditate before I go to sleep
oh,
because yeah, because at night I'm like, okay, tomorrow I have to do this, 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 and this, and I'm like all in my head and I can't sleep. So I take that time to like slow down. Yeah, because
mm-hmm,
uh, yeah, it's a whole thing for me. Like at night, my head starts like spinning. Um,
mm-hmm,
but yeah, I think remembering that not everything that you think it's true. Like you can be whatever you want to be. Doesn't matter what you're thinking. You don't have to pay
mm-hmm.
attention to that.
You don't have to pay attention to the negative part,
Yeah,
the
totally.
negative thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, okay, well, we're almost out of time, but what is one piece of advice that you would give to someone who's just starting out or they're thinking like you were like last July, oh, maybe I want to start my own company. So what's one thing that you would say?
I think that my best advice is, of course, to go for it and to believe that it's possible. Because a year ago, I didn't believe that this was possible for me, and
Hmm.
mostly living in a third world country and all of that. I think that our surroundings makes us believe that things that are possible for other people are not possible for us. Um,
Mm,
and I think the online space is a great place where boundaries are, non-existent, and countries are. It doesn't matter where you're from. So I think that's my best piece of advice. Like, um, don't think about where you come from or all of that, your surroundings, what people are telling you. If you believe that it's
hmm.
possible, it is. And I had a lot
Hmm.
of people that in my family and everything that were like, that's not gonna work. Why don't you, get a job and stuff like that? And
Hmm.
I had a lot of people as well that were like encouraging and all of that. And if I didn't believe in myself, like I wouldn't be here right now.
Hmm. That's awesome. That's great. Yeah, don't listen to those haters.
Yeah.
um, I would say my piece of advice is it goes along with what you were saying is just start because you can always
Yeah.
tell yourself like I don't know enough, I don't know
Yeah.
how this works. But if you just start, you take action and you start to figure things out, as you
Yeah, you
go
can
along.
learn anything. You can learn
Yes.
anything online.
Mhm.
Like even if you start off as a general VA and
Mhm.
then you want to specialize in something else, once you start and you gain some money, you can put that into learning something else and specialize and grow and there's like endless opportunities.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, my last question, I always ask everybody, but what's your favorite hot drink?
Oh, tea. I love tea. Um,
Really?
yeah. I think every tea that that there is. Yeah, every night I have tea with a honey, and that just, slows me down, and I love
Hmm.
it.
Awesome. What's your next step in your business? Like, what's your goal or, how do you plan to grow?
Yeah. I'm planning on building an agency, so getting more
Mm,
clients and having more people to work with me. Um, and yeah, and slowly, not slowly, but build that. Um, and I also want to start creating content online, like YouTube, podcast, and stuff like that, and like create a brand for myself. That's like
mm-hmm,
my big picture goal. Yeah,
mm-hmm,
to be able to also make a living creating content. Like it's the thing that I like the most. So
mm-hmm. You create beautiful
thank
images. I so love your page.
thank
Tell
you.
everybody where they can find you, where they can find all your beautiful content.
Yeah, well, you can follow me here on Instagram. And I have also my website. You can contact me there. It's lorenachaffer.com. And yeah, you can contact me there. And also my Facebook is the same. So yeah, I'm all around.
Awesome. Well, you're great to work with. I said in the beginning that you and I have a mutual client that we work with.
Yeah,
So sometimes you and I communicate about that. So I'm so excited and happy that we met. And thank
yeah, me
you for
too.
your time. All right. Well, I will talk to you soon. Have a great day.
Thank you, and thank you so much for your time and for this opportunity.
Sure, of course. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.